Welcome back to the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Want more information about those coupon codes? Find them at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, under the Money tab for coupon codes and all the companies that support this program to bring it to you each week under the Radio 9 tab at the top of the page. Pick out the best apple and pumpkin farms.
All right,
it's that time of season.
It is. And I feel like this can be very dependent on where you live. Mm-hmm. Our host studio... flagship studio is in the greater Milwaukee area, and I feel like in the fall you can drive less than like 20 minutes from the city
and see six or seven.
Yeah, you can find pumpkin farms, maybe not as many apple farms, but definitely like pumpkin situation farms, or the farm stand has them, whatever. But that's not the same as going to the pumpkin farm.
Because you're going to the pumpkin farm, they have activities in most cases for the kids, and then you get on a wagon and you can go.
Talk about that.
We're gonna. Yeah.
So first of all, you might want to figure out your budget, and if there's an entry fee, it probably seems ridiculous. Like, why is there an entry fee to a pick your own farm? But some of these places, they have like, you pay this entry fee, and that means you can get a certain amount of tickets for games or whatever. Rides
yeah,
or whatever it may be. Some of them are like have free hay rides, have free whatever, but also when you think about that, this particular farm might be free, but then it might be packed.
Right.
Yeah. And it might be small, or you might wait 6 hours for the hay ride.
Well, what one of the starting points is, one, know your budget, but two, do a Google search, favorite search engine, DuckDuckGo, whatever you want to do, and then look at reviews. Yeah. Because people will tell you how bad it is.
Right.
They won't tell you necessarily how wonderful it is. They'll make sure it's a terrible place to go. Don't go.
Right. And if it's
Uncle Roy was a terrible host.
And if it's something where you want to maybe spend half the day there, and you don't want to bring snacks, and they might have a little concession stand, whatever, that's good to know as well. And also the bathroom situation. I remember looking at my niece and nephew, especially when they were little, looking at some pumpkin farms, and it was like the bathrooms were terrible. They were just porta potties, and there wasn't enough, and there was, it can be bad. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah.
How big is the farm? There are ones that I've gone to where it is literally, you drive up, there is a barn that has been converted into a store. And then there's a couple of fields around. You go and walk and you pick your apples, or you go walk 150 yards and pick a pumpkin. And there's been other ones where it is an amusement park.
Basically, yeah, like a fall festival.
Right. There's concession stands. There's bouncy houses. There are hay rides. There are shoot apples from guns, cannons into straw bales. And it is... pick a thought, and that's what it is. There's tractor pull, where you actually pull a tractor petting zoos,
yeah, or feed the goats or whatever. Yeah,
it is an absolute insane amount of activities. However, the price there's an entry fee, and once you get through the gates, then it's whatever you want to do. You can do unlimited, but the food cost, and then there's an arcade that you can go to that cost. There's a haunted house that's free. But anyway, there's a whole gamut of things. So,
right.
What are you willing to spend, and what's the reviews say, and how much of a crowd? Obviously, if you go on the weekends, and the closer you get to the Halloween weekend is the most hectic. Do you want to go to a simplistic little place where you can get some family photographs? There's not that many people. You could actually go after work or take half a day and kind of go and do the thing where you don't have 400 people. Literally, there was like that one place was like 400 people. It was just fields and fields of cars. You thought there was a NASCAR race come into town.
Now, another thing to keep in mind is sometimes if those larger places do put out deals on certain websites, like Rhymes with Coupon. And you can find those deals, and you can find like 2 for 1 or 50% off, or the third and fourth kid or whatever gets in free. So you want to look for those deals. If you are going to one of these bigger ones that are like the
amusement park,
the fall festival, fall in your face. And if you want to go to a nice little one, that's fine too. It's just look around. And again, like I said, depending on where you live, you might not have a lot of options, but you might.
Well, whenever our niece was younger, you took her to one of these where you had to buy tickets. And whenever you got there was people leaving and that handed you a whole wad of tickets.
Right.
And you didn't have to pay for any tickets because everything that they had collected or bought, they didn't use, so they passed on. Did you pass on any to the next group whenever you were leaving, or did you use them all?
We used them all.
You used them all.
I don't think I did. It was actually, this place hosted like corporate parties, and they gave them so many tickets for the activities, and they just had a bunch left over.
But that's what, I forget what you call it. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Pay it forward. Yeah.
If I had extra tickets, but my niece and nephew were very little at the time, and there was like bouncy houses. And
they took it full advantage of it.
Yeah, and they had this like mini tractor. They took barrels and made them into like a little wagon, a
little train that the lawnmower pulled in and would drive around. Yeah.
So like we definitely utilized all of our options, and
which makes perfect sense. If you're in that situation, you've bought more tickets than what you can use. You're not going to benefit by taking them home and throw them away.
I've paid forward state fair tickets.
Yeah.
So.
And just have a feel good moment. Give it to somebody because they're going to need pay it forward. Be that good person in society.
I will say that you want to go on the hayride if you can. If it's your jam. Hayrides I think are timeless and fun.
But some people have never been on a hayride. Mm-hmm. I've been on more hayrides, which was considered work.
That doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count because you went. It was 100 degrees. The wind was blowing in your face. You were sweaty, and you were bailing in the middle of July straw. And apparently, I've talked to other people where it has to be. And if you're a farmer, I would like to confirm this with you. GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. Is it true in your world that you can't bale straw bales unless it's 100 degrees and the wind's blowing in your face? Now, Grandpa would be on the tractor, and then Dad and us would be on the wagon. We would stack these bales, 125 a wagon.
That's not a hayride.
I know it's not a hayride. It was a horrible hayride. I want them to run it back.
Hayride is when you're like, they take the hay tractor, hay trailer,
the hay wagon,
and
you sit on the bales.
You tell I'm the city person.
Yeah, you sit on
the bell. Yeah, you might have done this at the strawberry farm.
Yeah.
And and then there's always like some kid having a meltdown in the corner. Yeah, and then there's always somebody else sneezing because they're allergic to the hay.
Somebody's complaining. This is a rough wagon. Well, it's a wagon that has no shocks, and we're going through a rough field.
There's somebody holding on for dear life.
It's just terrified, like they're going to fall out of a plane. Yeah,
it's an experience, and that's why I said you have to go on the hayride. Now, I know that sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get on if you're not as mobile.
There are people that have some fears that are real, that are traumas.
But I'm saying, if you're able to do the hayride at least once in your life. And I just remember my nephew, when he was probably, 4 or 5, he wanted to climb everything like a lot of kids do, and we had to watch out for him. He was the one that might have jumped off.
Well, he was the one that when we were having a wiener roast at your mom's house and we were trying to get the fire going, he was like 3. He ran to the garage and grabbed the gas can and said, "I'll help start it." And a 3-year-old should not know that information.
Well, he's very observant. That's all I'm going to say. He's very observant.
But see, for me growing up on a farm, I had no interest whatsoever. It doesn't incite me at all to sit on a wagon and bounce through the field.
Right.
Not at all.
No, I understand that.
Sometimes it brings back bad memories. Yeah.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, fine.
Do you need me to hold your hand?
No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Also, accessibility.
Yes.
Is there certain? Do you have certain mobility restrictions, and do they accommodate for that? Now, going into the field, if you are handicapped in some some form or fashion, there might not be the ability for them to get you to the field in order for you to pick a pumpkin.
But they usually have pumpkins.
Correct.
At the front.
At the front at the stand where they've already been picked, and you can kind of just look through the pile and figure out that one magical one you want.
Now let's talk about what else you can buy there. So they have the pumpkins, obviously, or the apples.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of times they'll have gourds, mini pumpkins,
baked goods,
overpriced
cookies.
The one we went to had like this little thrifty area.
Okay.
And I bought like a ghost or something. I don't know.
Like a crafty
area. And then, a lot of times they'll have
apple
like hot
cider.
Chocolate. Yeah.
Apple cider, yeah.
Hot chocolate, to consume.
Honey is a big thing at some of these places,
so they have apple cider donuts.
Uh-huh.
sometimes they have pies.
Now, you're going to pay a premium for these. This is not a...
I think the apple cider donuts are usually pretty fair in price.
True, but you're going to spend money. This is an outing that you're going to set aside. Okay, this is X amount of dollars. We know we're going to spend this. It's a once-a-year thing. We're just going to buy once, cry once, and be done with it and enjoy the experience.
And that's exactly it. It is the experience, and you it's memories. You make some memories, and it's even better if it's maybe not the nicest weather, but you're still getting out there. I mean, obviously, if it's nice weather.
If it's drizzling, that's the best time to go because nobody else goes.
Nobody else goes, right. I mean, if it's downpouring, they're probably not going to.
But if it's just misting.
If it's just misting, yeah.
People don't want to go in that, and you're like, got the whole place to ourselves.
It is nice. So just keep that in mind that sometimes you have to be weather tolerant or whatever, especially if you pick that day to go to this pumpkin farm. It could work in your advantage.
And based on where you're at in the country, it usually works where we're at in the Milwaukee area, southeast Wisconsin. It's beautiful, beautiful, and then all of a sudden it nosedives and it never gets back good until like April.
Yeah. Well, lately it seems like it's happening later and later. But
yeah, it's beautiful, and then the front comes through, and the normal days of 50 have now been the highs are 30, and that's the way it stays, and it just keeps dropping.
I would also, if you have coworkers who are in the area, now a lot of people have coworkers all over the country because of remote work. But if you have coworkers in the area, definitely ask them. Say, do you have a?
We know you have. We know. I know you have a couple of kids. Have you ever gone to one of these? And which one? And what was your experience?
Especially if they live within the same area.
Oh, church people will tell you too.
Church people, yeah.
They'll let you know.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Oh.
And again, Joe had mentioned reading the reviews. That's important too.
And one of these it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be tied to spooky Halloween stuff.
No.
If you are
fall harvesty,
right? If you're concerned about that on a spiritual level, you don't. There's places where they don't. You wouldn't even know. It was, it's about pumpkins and the fall harvest and all of that.
Most of them are like that, unless it does have like
specifically identified.
You know what? They also a lot of times have corn mazes. So that's I've never.
Some people are terrified of mazes.
I'm terrified of mazes.
No, like they are horrified. Like if they go in, they'll never come out.
Oh, I just feel like it would be claustrophobic for me, especially because I'm short.
Okay, well. That's some of the things you need to know when it's time to figure out what farm you want to go to.
Joey, summer's winding down, but just because it's fall, we don't want to forget about our yards and those Japanese beetles and other grubs. They may now be hidden, but they're not far. Not only did the beetles feast on your roses and berries this summer, they laid eggs in your turf so that they can invade your yard again next year. Fight back with Phylum's Grub Gone. Grub Gone is a non-chemical Bt granule that applied to lawns and specifically targets scarab pests and their larvae with an 80% plus control even in the fall.
Holly, did you know that Grub Gone is the only non-chemical choice that effectively controls grubs? And when you combine it with the best chemical grub control at very low amounts, BioAdvanced grub control products, the tough-to-kill fall-season grubs, are hit with a 1-2 punch that kills them at the best rate tested, nearly 100%. This combo of the best of biology and chemistry is called IPM, Integrated Pest Management, which is the best industry practice. Mix 1.25 pounds of each per 1,000 square feet equals 100% control. Grub Gone from Phylum Bioproducts, the best combination of safety and performance.